What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I'm back today to give you guys a review of the Teddy Santis New Balance 993 in this Chive and Sea Salt colorway. The New Balance 993 is set to be returning in a handful of beautiful colorways. Releasing under Teddy Santis' Made in USA line, this Chive and Sea Salt colorway is releasing alongside a purple colorway, which I believe is officially called the Interstellar colorway, both of which are dropping, I believe, on April 25th. So these are retailing for the standard price of 285 Canadian dollars, which I believe translates to around 210 USD. And the style code for this shoe is U993GW. So the New Balance 993 is one of the most comfortable silhouettes that the brand offers. And while it's not as stylish and sleek as the 992 maybe, in my opinion, I think from a comfort standpoint, it's a much improved shoe, even though it might not look as clean as a 992. So I'm really excited that New Balance is bringing back the 993 in a bunch of really fun colorways, and this one was definitely one of the ones I really had my eye on. So diving into the details of this shoe, as we start things off with the toe box, this is covered in this open style mesh in green. Right above this towards the laces, we have the small reflective layer in this tonal green color. And then overlaid on both sides of the toe box, we have this synthetic nubuck, which is also done in this tonal green color, but if you look at the edges, you'll see they're painted in almost like a turquoise or a teal color. This really stands out and it's visible throughout the entire upper of the shoe. Wrapping around the front toe cap, we have this genuine suede overlay, which feels very soft and very buttery to the touch. And the same suede covers the eyelets of the sneaker, but then the top two eyelets, this is covered in this plastic or TPU layer, but it's also done in that same green color. Beneath this on the mid panel we have more suede, and then stitched on top of this we have the New Balance N logo, which is also done in this reflective finish in a mix of green and white. Moving further down towards the back, we have more of that open style mesh, and then we have another synthetic nubuck overlay sitting across diagonally. And then wrapping around the bottom of the heel, we have more of that genuine suede. We have 993 branding pressed onto the heel on the lateral side only in silver, and then in the middle of the heel, we have this oval shaped cutout revealing this woven USA branding along with this green colored USA flag. On the top of the heel, we have another synthetic nubuck overlay, and we have the silver reflective layer here as well. And then on the bottom of the heel, we have a translucent TPU heel clip with New Balance branding, and this is there to help to give you additional structure and support for the back end of the shoe. In terms of laces, so this pair comes with two different lace options. The standard lace that they come with is a flat style lace done in this sail color, but they also come with a tonal green colored lace if you want to give the tongue a little bit more of a visual contrast. Speaking about the tongue, so the majority of the tongue is crafted using a sail colored open style mesh. However, we have a large synthetic nubuck overlay on the top. Here you'll find 993 branding in green, along with New Balance Made in USA branding embroidered across the top. The back of the shoe and the interior liner of the sneaker, this is covered in this white colored liner, and then the same goes for the insoles. So this is your typical Made in USA New Balance insole, nothing too special here. It's lined in this white color on top, and we have New Balance branding pressed onto the heel in green. So the upper of the New Balance 993, it sits atop this chunky midsole, which is crafted using New Balance's Absorb and Activa technologies. So these are two of New Balance's top cushioning technologies, and they implement both on this sneaker. So on the forefoot, it's painted in the sail color, whereas on the heel, it's painted in more of a darker vintage cream color. And if that wasn't enough, on the lateral heel we also have Absorb DTS technology. So this stands for their Dynamic Transition System, and it combines both Absorb and Absorb SBS to give you both optimal cushioning along with giving you more of a smooth transition when you go from heel to toe. Finally, turning the shoe over to the bottom, so this is your typical 993 outsole, and in this case, it's done in a mix of dark gray and the sail colored rubber. So we have these two horizontal grooves on the forefoot to give you added flexibility, and in the middle of the outsole, we have New Balance branding. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this pair. And for those wondering about how these fit, so if you've never worn a 993 before, I personally find them to be a little bit roomy. So my foot measures as a true size 10, slightly on the wider side, and I almost always go with a size 9.5. So getting these a half size down, they fit me perfectly. I also go a half size down or a 9.5 in other New Balance silhouettes like the 992, the 990 V3, V4, V5, and V6. And in comparison, I go true to size or a size 10 in other New Balance silhouettes like the 1500, 991 V1 and V2, and the ever popular 2002R, 1906R, and 860 V2. So if you've never worn a New Balance sneaker before, I'd say that they run a little bit roomier than a typical Nike shoe. So I usually wear a size 10 in Nikes, but I got these in a 9.5. Moving on to the comfort, so like I mentioned in the beginning, the 993 in my opinion is a very comfortable sneaker, one of the best that New Balance offers. As they utilize a lot of top cushioning technologies in this midsole, you're not only going to feel a little bit of that plushness, but it's definitely a very well structured and supportive shoe. So even wearing these for hours on end, my feet won't feel fatigued as quick as if I'm wearing something else. You can still feel a bit of that plushness underfoot, but it's never going to feel soft enough that you feel unstable with a lack of support. But as always, if you're able to somehow try these on in store first, I'd highly recommend that because everyone's foot is going to be different. Finally, in terms of the quality and the craftsmanship on this shoe, so first off, the material quality is your typical made in USA sneaker, which I have to say was pretty solid. The suede feels super soft and buttery, and yes, they do utilize some synthetic materials on this upper, but they hardly use synthetic materials to be the main component of the upper. The star of the show obviously is a suede, and then we have complementary synthetic layers, so it's not like you're buying this shoe and the majority of it is just covered with fake leather. And in terms of the build and the craftsmanship on this pair, it was decent. It wasn't perfect, but it was decent. So the stitch job, there was some minor issues with that. There were some strings of glue along the midsole, but that was an easy fix. I just had to literally pull them off. Aside from that though, and most importantly, the panels were consistent between my left and right feet, and there weren't any major issues on this pair. So I'd say that it's your typical made in USA sneaker. Nowadays, I find that more often than not, there's some minor issues, but nothing significant enough that would really bug me. So with all of that out of the way now, let me toss these on feet, I'll lace them up for you, and I'll show you guys how these look. Overall, I really love this shade of green. When you compare it to, for example, the Joe Fresh Goods Sage 993, that one is much more of a muted, faded green. This one, in contrast, has a lot more vibrancy to it, which I really liked. It's gonna really stand out in the spring and summer months. And I love how the green is complemented with this off-white colored tongue and the laces. It really breaks up the otherwise totally green looking sneaker, and it gives it a bit of a vintage flair to it, which I really liked. When I compare this to the purple pair though, I was not a fan of the purple. I know a lot of people love the purple colorway, but it's just not a shade that I think I'd really wear. So that's why I decided to just pick these up, and I passed on the Interstellar colorway. But leave your thoughts down below. Let me know, what do you guys think about this Chive New Balance 993? When these drop on the 25th, is this gonna be an immediate cop for you? Are you gonna roll the dice and maybe hope that they go on sale? And between this one and the purple pair, which of the two do you guys prefer? As always though, if you guys enjoyed this review, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at esco8, follow me on X at sean.go spelt out, and visit my website at seango.ca. So thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review and hopefully it helped you in some way. Good luck to anyone trying to grab these on April 25th, and I'll catch all of you in my next video.